Welcome everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to today's presentation. Today, we're going to explore Prithvi's cosmos. And specifically, we'll be focusing on some fascinating upcoming celestial events happening from April 6th to April 9th, 2026. So, let's get ready to journey into the stars and discover what's in store for us during this exciting period. On April 6th, the comet A1, also known as MAPS, will pass its perihelion. Now, perihelion is the point where the comet gets closest to the Sun, which is a pretty significant event in its orbit. However, on this particular day, it won't be easy to observe the comet. That's because it will be very close to the Sun in the sky, only about 0 degrees apart, making it nearly impossible to see with the naked eye or even with telescopes from the ground. It's also important to remember that comets are highly unpredictable objects. Their brightness can vary quite a bit because it depends on how sunlight scatters off their surfaces and comas. So, even though we know the date of perihelion, predicting how bright the comet will appear is much more challenging. And just to connect this to our overall theme, this event marks a key point in the comet's journey, but observing it will require patience and perhaps some luck due to its proximity to the Sun and unpredictable brightness. Finally, looking ahead, Comet C2026A1, also known as MAPS, will reach its perihelion in the future, continuing this fascinating cycle of celestial events that keep reminding us of the dynamic nature of our solar system. On the 7th of April, we have a fascinating event to look forward to, the lunar occultation of Antares. What does that mean exactly? Well, it means that the moon will pass in front of the star Antares, which is also known as Alpha Scorpii. This alignment causes a lunar occultation, where the moon temporarily covers the star from our view. This event is particularly exciting because it will be visible from specific countries and territories, including Madagascar, Maldives, and Mauritius. However, it's worth noting that the occultation can be observed across different parts of the world, depending on the viewing conditions. So this lunar occultation offers us a unique opportunity to witness the moon and a bright, prominent star like Antares in a special way. It's a reminder of the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our night sky, connecting to the overall theme of understanding celestial events and their significance. On the 7th of April, we'll observe an interesting event. The moon will be at its aphelion, which is the point in its orbit where it is farthest from the Sun. At that exact moment, the Earth will be at a distance of 10,003 astronomical units from the Sun, and the Moon will be slightly farther away at about 10,025 astronomical units. Now, to put that into perspective, the distance between the Earth and the Moon is just about 0.0027 AU, which translates to roughly 402,000 kilometers. This relatively small distance within our Earth-Moon system contrasts with the much larger distances involved when considering their positions relative to the Sun. Understanding these distances, especially during aphelion, helps us grasp the scale of our celestial mechanics and how these orbital variations can influence phenomena like tides, eclipses, and even long-term climate patterns. It's a fascinating reminder of the dynamic and somewhat elliptical paths our lunar neighbor and planet follow around the Sun. On April 8th, we'll witness a special event in the night sky, the conjunction of Venus and Ceres. This means that these two celestial bodies will appear very close to each other from our perspective on Earth. The pair will become visible around 6:46 p.m. Indian Standard Time, just as the sky starts to darken after sunset. You can expect to see them roughly 26 degrees above the southwestern horizon, so a bit low but still quite visible. As dusk turns into night, they'll gradually sink towards the horizon and will set about 3 hours and 6 minutes after the Sun, so there's plenty of time to observe them. Venus, being brighter, will shine at magnitude -4.2, which makes it very noticeable, while Ceres will be a bit dimmer at magnitude 9.3. This conjunction is a fascinating event because it's a chance to see a planet and a dwarf planet close together in the sky. It's also a reminder of how dynamic our solar system is, with objects constantly moving and aligning in interesting ways. Keep an eye out for this event. It's a beautiful example of the harmony and motion of celestial bodies that we're fortunate to observe. On April 9th, we have an exciting celestial event to look forward to, the lunar occultation of Sigma Sagittarii. What this means is that the moon will pass in front of this star, effectively blocking it from view for a short period. Now, this event will be visible from specific parts of the world, mainly Antarctica, southern Chile, and southern Argentina. It's important to note that such occultations are not visible everywhere. They are limited to certain regions depending on the moon's position and the observer's location. This kind of event is a fantastic opportunity for astronomers and skywatchers alike to observe the dynamic dance between the moon and stars. It also helps us understand more about the moon's orbit and the positions of stars in our sky. So, while the occultation will only be visible from certain areas, it's a beautiful reminder of the ever-changing night sky and the precise movements that govern it. On April 9th, we'll have an interesting event, a lunar occultation of Sigma Sagittarii. What does that mean? Essentially, the moon will pass in front of this particular star, temporarily blocking its light from our view. This event is particularly special because it will be visible from specific parts of the world, namely Antarctica, southern Chile, and southern Argentina. However, it's important to note that the occultation won't be visible everywhere. It's limited to those regions. Lunar occultations like this are fascinating because they give us a unique opportunity to observe the moon's movement and its interaction with stars. They also help astronomers gather more information about the star's position and sometimes even about the moon's edge. So keep in mind, if you're in those southern regions, this is a moment to look up and witness this celestial dance. It perfectly ties into our overall theme of understanding the dynamic and ever-changing nature of our night sky. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate your time and attention throughout this presentation. If you found this content valuable, I'd love for you to like the video or the post. Sharing it with others who might benefit is also a great way to spread the knowledge. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more insights and updates. Your support helps me continue creating content like this. Thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to connecting with you in the future.